phone's not charging.
Huh?
It's not charging.
Your phone isn't? That thing's completely charged. Completely charged. Been on all night long. Let's try that at work. What's your phone doing?
Not charging.
How much you got in it?
64 only.
We'll work on it here. Leave it alone for now. And leave it plugged in there. When it flashes, it's charging. Just leave it
Okay,
plugged in.
okay.
It charged all night long.
Yeah, that's weird. Well, good afternoon, hockey fans, and welcome inside the IRA Civic Center in Grand Rapids for this afternoon's Peewee AA matchup between Forest Lake and Grand Rapids. Game number 1 of the Peewee AA Star of the North tournament here at the IRA Civic Center. Joining me once again today on the broadcast, Eric Johns.
You know what, Blake? Like I said before, I'm excited. Peewee AA. We've done a Squirt AA. We've done a Bantam AA. Now we're doing a Peewee AA for Grand Rapids. You know what? To have them AA teams is huge for Grand Rapids. That means the numbers are coming back. We're getting some good teams. I'm looking forward to it today. And then, I'm looking down this roster today. There's a few names that I remember, and one of them, big one, is the assistant coach, Don DeWell. His son is on the team. Don was a great Grand Rapids hockey player back in the day and went on to play college hockey. Great, all the way through it. Great hockey knowledge on that bench. Head coach, Brett Beckfield. Great knowledge right there. So I expect to see a good team. And you know what? Like we talked last night, Forest Lake, their AA team building up to their high school program. I'm sure we're in for a good hockey game today.
Well, we're meeting the lineups right now. Both teams will step aside, play our sponsor ads. IRA Civic Center. Stop by Iron Range Apparel for all your Minnesota-themed clothing and home decor. Located in the Thunderbird Mall, Virginia, Iron Range Apparel offers link cabins. Stop by Iron Range along with a large variety of apparel. Grab a hockey hoodie for the rink or a winter hat for the cold Minnesota weather. Iron Range Apparel also offers wholesale pricing and custom screen printing. Find them on Facebook and Instagram or shop online at ironrange.shop, and good luck to all the players. Minnesota Twist Drill is a proud sponsor of Up North Hockey and wish best of luck to all players on the season ahead and to have fun. For all your heating, air conditioning, and refrigeration needs in the Grand Rapids area, call Tony from Anthony's Heating, Air Conditioning, and Refrigeration at 218-256-1092 or find them on Facebook at Anthony's Heating, AC, and Refrigeration, LLC. G&B Environmental specializes in proactive air and water filtration services, HVAC coil protection, cottonwood screen insulation for cooling units, UV light air purification systems, and electrostatic disinfectant spraying for COVID-19 and other contagions. Give them a call at 1-800-466-2018 or visit gbenvironmental.com. Winnie Trading Post is your one-stop shop on the way to the lake. Located 12 miles north of Deer River on Highway 46 by Lake Winnebagosh, Winnie Trading Post offers gas, food, bait, propane, and everything in between. Find them on Facebook by searching Winnie Trading Post or stop by on your next trip to the lake. All right, welcome back. We did the lineups for both teams, Forest Lake and Grand Rapids Peewee AA's, and we are just about ready for hockey, Eric.
You know, I'm ready for this. I do believe, you know, last year I watched a Peewee AA game against Moorhead, and they looked really good, so I'm expecting to see a really good hockey game, entertaining. Our squirt game we did this year was entertaining, so let's have some fun today.
And we are underway from the IRA Civic Center. Play at neutral, now at center ice. As Nate Garski tries picking up, now back in the Grand Rapids zone. In the far corner, picked up by Forest Lake. That was Nate Peterson picking it up. Now up to the point. Fired to the net, intercepted by Grand Rapids. Now it's center ice. Garski picks it up now. Unplug that extension cord.
I think that'll make a big difference.
We apologize for that. One of our extension cord got unplugged here. So we got that plugged back in. Our soundboard was completely off. I was wondering why I couldn't hear Eric through my headphones here, so we got that fixed. So we have 15:28 remaining in period number 1. Still no score between Grand Rapids and Forest Lake. Face off of the Forest Lake zone, trying to put a shot through there. From the point are the Thunderhawks. Now Forest Lake drives out with it. Ooh. Now back at neutral, down to the Forest Lake zone. And it's going to go down for an icing. So we'll face off here in the Grand Rapids zone to the left of goaltender Carter Casey. One back by the Thunderhawks, now in the far corner. Coming away with it is Alex Salisbury, now to the near corner. And driven out by Grand Rapids to neutral. Now in front of the benches. Shot in by Salisbury. Play in the Forest Lake zone. Now here come the Rangers. As it's number 0, Levi Hagman. It's odd to see you don't see a number 0 too often in hockey.
No, not a skater by any means.
Yeah, sometimes you might see a goalie, but yeah, definitely not a skater, like you said. As it's brought up by Grand Rapids to the zone. Now here's Garski. Centers it, trying to another rebound chance there. And it's going to be covered up by goaltender Earhart.
You know, another thing weird to me, too, is on their roster, Grand Rapids only has 1 goalie listed. They don't have 2 goalies listed. I don't see another goalie on the bench. I imagine that one of them kids over there, something was to happen, will step in. But it's not something you want to do.
Well, especially for a Peewee AA team, most of the time you have 2 goaltenders, especially in Grand Rapids here.
No, just not to be on the roster kind of gets my attention.
Yep, only 1 goaltender on the roster as well.
And I'd like to say good luck to the Grand Rapids Junior Gold playing in their first game in 4 years. Today we're playing in Moorhead. I do not know who they're playing against. I'll figure that out. And I just talked to Coach Glenn Bergman. He's pretty excited about it. So I wish them the best of luck. Hope all the kids, they have fun time and they realize that they can still play the game of hockey after, not having a high school career.
And is that a tournament? Or
it is a tournament.
Tournament, okay. Yeah, it's good to see the Junior Gold program back in Grand Rapids, brought in by the Thunderhawks there. At the point, shot out front, can't get a shot on net there. And now it's flipped out by the Rangers. Now into the Thunderhawk zone as it's brought in by Devin O'Donnell. Now Garski's going to pick it up. Nathan Garski's going to shoot it all the way to the backboards in the Rangers zone. Now kept in at the point by Grand Rapids. Now back up to the point. Here's Simmons. Over to Carlson. Can't get a shot through there. Now along the far half wall, picked up by the Rangers, and they will flip it out. Now play in front of the benches. Back in the Grand Rapids zone. Back to neutral as it's poked in by Forest Lake. Tucker Peterson, and they are offside.
Yeah, that's a good play here. Some, for Peewee AA's, there's some good stick passing going on, some headbanding the puck, awareness of where your players are. And Forest Lake, they're a big team. Look at the size of some of these kids. They're big kids. Grand Rapids, hopefully it doesn't turn into a physical game.
And you did mention that Nate Garski on number 17 on Grand Rapids. He is a big kid for the Peewee level. He's actually bigger than his older brother, Jacob Garski, who's a Bantam. He's a lot bigger.
I was thinking that myself, and I was trying to compare it earlier. I'm like, and watching that, I'm like, man, I think this kid's bigger than his brother. But, it's not about size either. I've seen a lot of small, young kids have more grit and hit harder than most kids. So I'm really interested to watch how this team progresses, throughout this game.
And Jake Garski, he's having a very good year for the Bantam AA team this year. He's a second year. And when you talk about small players, being gritty players, we've talked about this player before, Gavin Forrest. He's a very small player, but a very, he plays physically, and he is a gritty player as well, like you said.
I've seen on some paperwork that he's, I think he's on the top 3 in scoring for the Bantam AA's.
I believe they have a tournament this week in the Bantam AA's. I think they're maybe up in Roseau, or that might be next weekend. I think it's next week in Grand Rapids. Bantam AA's up in Roseau. Here comes Rangers, broken up by the Grand Rapids defenseman. Now coming up the other way is Seth Carlson. Carlson shot, scores! Upper shelf goal for Seth Carlson of Grand Rapids. And that's going to make it 1-0 here in this one.
That was some great awareness by the Grand Rapids. I heard some yelling from the coaches over there. Forest Lake was on a change. The puck happened to squirt free to the Grand Rapids player who was on the outside, Carlson. He skated it up. He did what he thought he should do. He had a guy wide open, and he took the shot, and he beat the goalie over the glove side. We have a left-handed goalie for Forest Lake, and so that was really, really nice play by the Peewee AA's from Grand Rapids, Carlson, to score that goal. Good heads up play, good coaching. Let the players know that there was a change going on. So to me, Grand Rapids off to a good start. Before that goal, I think it was kind of an evenly matched game, and so maybe this will turn the tide. Grand Rapids start playing some hockey and know what's going on here with each other.
So recapping that goal scored by Grand Rapids, scoring the goal is number 6, Seth Carlson, with the single assist going to number 23, Colton Stupar. That makes it 1-0. Grand Rapids with 10:56 remaining in period number 1. Grand Rapids in their own zone, now sent to center ice. Intercepted by the Rangers. Brought in by Ryder Seedow. Now battle for it in the far corner. Now behind the net, picked up by the Rangers, trying to wrap it around there. Back behind the net. Grand Rapids picks it up now as it leaves the zone, play at center ice. As Peterson brings it in there momentarily, now back in neutral. Grand Rapids coming the other way now. Shot, fires it over the net. Another shot and covered up by the goaltender, Earhart.
You know, that shot from it was pretty much between the goal line and the bottom of the faceoff circle on the left side of the Forest Lake goalie, and it hit the pipe. And that shot was by Garski.
So face off to the right of the Forest Lake netminder. Now in the near corner. As Grand Rapids picks it up, here's Duell. Now back behind the net. Picked up by Garski. Now up to the point. Out front. Shot, rebound chance, can't get there. Trying to put another shot on there was Lampa. Now Forest Lake picks it up in their own zone along the near half wall, and it's still going to be kept in by number 10, Owen Simmons. Now we have a stoppage of play for a high stick.
You know, I'm surprised that wasn't an interference penalty. Duell was taken out. It wasn't even close to the puck, and he got pretty hard. He turned around and got hit. So, and I think he was a little surprised, but was able to get back up, and Grand Rapids still fighting right now.
Face off to the left of goaltender Earhart. One back by Grand Rapids. Up to the point as it's kept in by Alex Salisbury. Now in the far corner, Garski picks it up out front, trying to center it over to Lampa. And Lampa can't pull the trigger. Now here comes Forest Lake the other way. Shot there, poke checked by the goaltender Carter Casey. Now here comes Grand Rapids the other way. As number 4 there, Ari Lampa gets knocked off the play. Now behind the net. And Forest Lake's going to come away with it. As it's shot out by Connor LeBlanc. Now back in the Grand Rapids zone. As it's going to be shot out. Up to number 6, Seth Carlson. Now Grand Rapids in the Forest Lake zone. Brought in by Hajduk. Out front, rebound chance there. Now behind the net, a wraparound chance. And a save there by goaltender Earhart. Now up to the point. As it's kept in, now at the backboard, still in the Forest Lake zone. Along the sideboards now. Battle for it. Still battling for it. Now it squirts out up to the point. And now Forest Lake picks it up, and it's flipped out by Nate Peterson. Back in the Forest Lake zone now. Now towards the net, behind the net now. It was brought in by Colin Stupar, and now it's going to be covered up by the goaltender, Tony Earhart.
You know, Grand Rapids is pretty aggressive on their play right now. They're getting to every loose puck. They're making things happen between the red line and the blue line on the offensive zone. So Grand Rapids right now, I would have to say that they're dominating this game in a way. You know, I mean, Forest Lakes doesn't really have a chance to breathe. And as I speak here, they come out of the zone. See what I'm talking? There they go. They intercept him again, right between the red line and the blue line.
Up to center ice, now back in the Forest Lake zone. Along the near half wall. Shot off the boards, and now it's going to be brought out by Forest Lake's captain, Ryder Seedow. Out front, chance. Big save there by Casey. And he's going to, looks like the puck was under his pads, and he's just going to lay on it. And he makes the save.
You know what? It looks like somebody said this looks like an Olympic sheet of ice. This is not an Olympic sheet of ice. This is a sheet of ice that's been here since 1963.
Actually, the second rink here at the IRA Civic Center is Olympic size ice.
Yes, and I've skated on it. It is a much bigger rink, and it will wind you.
Shot out by Grand Rapids. Just an opportunity there a few seconds ago by Forest Lake. Hit the back of the netting. Play at center ice as it's backhanded in by Thiel. Now here comes Forest Lake through neutral. LeBlanc. Shot blockered away by goaltender Casey. Now in the far corner. And it'll be shot out by Garski as he finds Duell on a pass. In the near corner, picked up by Forest Lake now. Now in the far corner, Grand Rapids comes away with it, trying to find Garski there on the pass. No icing there on the play as it's stopped by goaltender Casey. Coming in to pick it up is Salisbury. Salisbury behind the net. Sends it up to the half wall. Now Forest Lake controls momentarily there, broken up by the Thunderhawks. Now here comes Garski driving in. Garski coming in with speed. Shot, scores! Nathan Garski makes it 2-0 in favor of Grand Rapids. Another nice shot by this Grand Rapids Peewee team.
You know, very nice shot. His skating ability and the way he skates, carrying the puck along up there, his size, he was able to get to the the outside of the defender for Forest Lake and was able to get the puck, and very nice shot and beat the Forest Lake goalie with a really, really nice shot.
Here comes Forest Lake the other way. Behind the net now, out front. There's a rebound chance there. Brought out by Grand Rapids.
That puts Grand Rapids up 2-0 with 5:38 left in the first period of play.
And that was, number 17, Nathan Garski scoring the goal, with the single assist going to number 4, Ari Lampa. Back in the Grand Rapids zone. In the near corner. Now along the backboards. Grand Rapids comes away with it now in the far corner. Here's Stupar. Stupar tries finding Palasek on the pass there, and a shot by Forest Lake and a glove save by Casey.
That was a very nice save by Casey. Literally, the Forest Lake player was able to pick it up, and the shot by Caden Spores, it was heading for the upper corner, and for him he eyed that up and was able to pick it up. That was awesome.
So we have 5 minutes remaining in period number 1. It is 2-0 in favor of Grand Rapids. Forest Lake intercepts towards the net. Shot, scores! That is number 90. Nate Peterson scoring the goal for Forest Lake to get them within 1. So with 4:49 remaining in the first period, it's 2-1 in favor of Grand Rapids.
Again, Blake, this is fun to be doing. That was some good hustle by Forest Lake to kind of turn it around after that. And for them to put the pressure on, happened to be a goal, kind of like last night's goal. It was kind of in close, forced it in, and the puck was pushed in. Once the goalie was done, it was pushed in the net. So, good hustle and good determination by Forest Lake.
So once again, scoring that goal for Forest Lake To make it 2-1 in favor of Grand Rapids was number 90, Nate Peterson, with the single assist going to number 44, Devin O'Donnell. And with about 4 minutes remaining, it is 2-1 in favor of Grand Rapids. Thunderhawks out front. Can't pull the trigger. There was number 18 for Grand Rapids, Joey Miskovich. Now here comes O'Donnell for Forest Lake. Sends it over to LeBlanc. Now sent down to the far corner. Both teams battling for it. Now Grand Rapids comes away with it, trying to drive it out up to the point. Shot, pad save by Casey. Now back along the backboards. Now we have a penalty coming up on Forest Lake. That's going to be O'Donnell heading to the box of the Rangers. And Grand Rapids power play coming up here.
You know, that's the bad thing about youth hockey. Sometimes they turn around and there's a player there. They try to do not to avoid it. I don't think none of these players try to cross-check somebody. I think that it's just heat of the action. It's what happened to, the transaction before the play.
So that is a 2-minute minor on Devin O'Donnell, number 44, for cross-checking. Back in the Forest Lake zone now along the backboards. Now in the far corner. Picked up by Garski, sends it up to the point. Here's Duell. Big opportunity there for Lampa to bury it. Couldn't pull the trigger. Now Garski controls.
That was put right on his stick. Grand Rapids moving the puck real well on this power play. Knowing where your players are. Duell made a really nice pass to Lampa, and Lampa just couldn't pull the trigger, but here we are again. Duell's going to chase it now.
Now back in neutral here. Now here comes Grand Rapids the other way. Shot there, fires it over the net. That was a shot by Alex Salisbury. And now it's going to be shot all the way down by Forest Lake for an icing. We have 2:06 remaining in period number 1, 2-1 in favor of Grand Rapids. 44 seconds remaining on the Thunderhawks power play. We'll face off here to the right of goaltender. Let's see here, goaltender Earhart. Far corner, back behind the net now. Number 0, Hagman, sends it up the half wall. Now a shot there from the point by number 10 of Grand Rapids, Owen Simmons. Fires it over the left corner. Now in the far corner. Over to the near corner. Now back up to the point, kept in by Simmons. He sends it over to Carlson. Simmons keeps it in. Down to Carlson. Back up to the point, this time over to Stupar. Stupar driving in now. As he drops it back to number 11. There's no number 11, sorry, that was number 16, Grady Hajduk. Now picked up by Palasek. Forest Lake back at full strength now, back to 5-on-5 hockey. And a shot right on from the point there, saved by Earhart.
You know what, for some Peewees, they're moving the puck quite well. Moving around on the power play, that's what it's about, knowing where the open guy, and the guys that have confidence to keep, not just throw the puck away, to keep the puck and to step around the guy and have the patience to look for somebody open. I see a lot of that done last night in Grand Rapids High School game. Uh-oh.
Here comes Forest Lake the other way. It's number 6, Kellen Spores, shot right on there. And a pad save by Carter Casey. Now Forest Lake sends it out of the offensive zone, back to Seedow. Now front of the benches as it's fired in by number 63, Connor LeBlanc. Now Grand Rapids in their defensive zone. 42 seconds remaining in period number 1. As it's going to be poked and kept in by Nate Peterson. Penalty coming up on Grand Rapids. And now Forest Lake will head to the power play.
I missed what the penalty was, but we'll see here.
It's 14, Jeffrey Schaefer heading to the box. Didn't see what it was for, but 2-minute minor. And a power play for Forest Lake as they trail 2-1 still. One back by Grand Rapids in their own zone. That's a holding penalty on Schaefer of Grand Rapids. Now Thunderhawks shoot it in on net. Shot there by Simmons. Now Forest Lake drives out with it. It's going to go all the way down for an icing with 9 seconds remaining in period number 1.
You know, something I seen earlier, you know, I watched a couple of these Grand Rapids Peewee defensemen. They're smart with the puck, and it almost makes me think that once in a while they've watched Jack Peart of Grand Rapids High School play, because the way they, you know, they're not panicked when they get the puck at the blue line. They kind of step around. They just wait to see what happens. Looking for that open man, not panicking. I mean, I think that's key for a defenseman, especially one running the power play.
When you see like a team like the Grand Rapids varsity team right now, you know, those kids are great role models for this youth program. You know, they have a very good team. You know, these kids look up to players like Jack Peart. Jack Peart, a very good player. He's going to go far in his hockey career. So, you know, it's good for these kids to see a successful team like Grand Rapids. You know, you saw it in 2016 and 2017. Now they have a good team this year as well.
I agree. You know, you think about it. These kids were probably just starting hockey, you know, when Grand Rapids won a state title. So they seen kids come up, and then all of a sudden Jack Peart comes around. But, you know what, last night watching we did the game last night, and to watch that last night, the way Jack Peart controlled that hockey game, I went to every hockey game last year, and I watched Jack Peart controls the game. And the same thing right now with this Peewee game. I watched a couple of these defensemen. They don't panic when they get the puck, especially on that power play they had. They know where the players are. They know what's going to happen. I just really think that, the watching the older players play, you get these ideas. You get how things are going to happen. This Peewee team is they're impressive to watch. I mean, they handle the puck quite well, and their puck control is pretty amazing. You know, interesting to see. You know, I hope these kids, can go well. I know we got a comment on there that from somebody that said whoever they are associated with, it didn't say, but they had beat both teams this year. To me, I think you can beat somebody early in the year. I've seen it in high school so many years. A team would beat a team by 5-6 goals. Get to the playoffs, it don't matter. You get to that playoff game, and the goalie stands on his head. One kid that you've never expected, he shows up and plays one great game. One good guy tips a puck. One good shot, one good goalie. It changes everything. I don't care if you beat a team 3 times a year. I've seen teams win 3-4 games a year. You get to a playoff game, and you run into a hot goalie, So I hope this Peewee team can do well. I'm going to try to figure out between, sometime here to find out how the Junior Gold and Grand Rapids Junior Gold is doing out in Moorhead. I'd like to find out and maybe get an update, let people know what's going on. So I'll try to do that, Blake, real quick here. Maybe you can take care of this, and I'll see what I can find real quick.
And I would just like to thank our sponsors really quick. Iron Range Apparel, Minnesota Twist Drill, Anthony's Heating, AC, and Refrigeration, G&B Environmental, and Winnie Trading Posts for their sponsorship of Up North Hockey. Period number 2 is underway from the IRA Civic Center. Forest Lake controls in their offensive zone. And now it's going to be shot out by Grand Rapids all the way down for an icing. So we have just getting underway here for period number 2. Minute and 07 remaining on the power play for Forest Lake. And we'll have a face-off here to the left of Carter Casey in the Grand Rapids zone. Again, we thank everyone for tuning in here this afternoon. We have 56 people watching right now. Another good audience. We've been getting good audiences all year long, so we appreciate everyone tuning in. Play at neutral now. Garski sends it back to Salisbury. Now Salisbury sends it over to his defensive partner. Grand Rapids sends it all the way down, and it's going to go down for an icing.
We'll wait and see if we can find out. How that junior gold game's going out there. You know, it's the first junior gold game in 4 years for Grand Rapids. You know, I want to say thank you to Glenn Bergman for coaching the team again this year and all the players that came out. I hope they have a fun time, realize that they can still play some hockey while they're in high school. So good luck to them.
So we have 32 seconds remaining on the power play for Forest Lake. And now another penalty here. This time on the Rangers. We'll have 4-on-4 hockey for 27 seconds. And then Grand Rapids will be heading to the power play once again.
You know, I think we're seeing some entertaining hockey today. Both teams, there's nobody dominating right now. I started out Grand Rapids, I thought was kind of running, you know, doing quite well, running the show earlier. You know, Forest Lake's kind of settled down a little bit. You know, they're on the road. They're young kids. You know, I think that, you know, for being what they're doing right now is, you know, traveling up here. They're building a Forest Lake program as well as Grand Rapids is building a high school program.
Well, if you look on the Forest Lake Youth Hockey Association website, they have a lot of teams at the Peewee level. They have 6 teams. They have a AA team, a B1 team, 2 B2 teams, and 2 C teams.
Really? Those are great numbers. And you know what? And the thing is, a lot of those kids on those lower teams, they're going to emerge. They're going to come into their own, and they're going to play, and they're going to be mixed in with these AA kids as their career goes on in high school or Bantams throughout their hockey career.
Well, you see that a lot. You know, kids aren't done maturing as hockey players at the Peewee level. You know, once you get to Bantams, you start to know where you're going to be at. And then obviously once you get to high school, you know, things change from Peewees and squirts, though, for sure.
I believe that 100%. Even Peewees to Bantams, kids change. I've seen it. I played with a lot of them that have really emerged through their Bantam careers.
So 57 seconds remaining on the power play for Grand Rapids. Grand Rapids, as they're back to full strength, trying to put a backhand shot there. We're the Thunderhawks, so that was Palasek. Now here's Seth Carlson. Grand Rapids power play unit out. Back to Carlson, now to the near corner. Over to Hajduk. Now Forest Lake controls. As Hagman sends it up the boards, and now it's poked out by the Rangers. As it's running, Forest Lake shot there on the penalty kill. Another rebound chance. Now Grand Rapids will send it through center ice. Retreating back for Forest Lake is Seedow. Seedow is going to send it all the way down, and it will go down for an icing.
You know, I can about imagine the coach for the Grand Rapids Junior Gold, Glenn Bergman. He is on the bench. It's believe it's one of his first times ever to be coaching a team. He's got some good players on the team. I played hockey with Glenn. I'm sure he's a pretty excited player. So to keep him down is really key right now. To keep him level-headed himself. So players need to be helping him as well as he needs to be helping them.
Now Forest Lake at full strength here, back to 5-on-5 hockey as it's shot in by Grand Rapids, controlled by Forest Lake in their own zone. Here's Seedow, sends it out to neutral. Now up to center ice. Now Grand Rapids over to Schaefer. Schaefer's going to send it all the way in. Now Seedow picks it up, sends it up to the near half wall. It's going to be kept in by Salisbury, who slaps it in. Now a shot there, rebound chance, scores! Off the rebound chance. Can't quite see which one put it in there, but I believe it was, I don't know who, there's multiple players in front of the net there, but either way, They get the rebound goal there. Grand Rapids does to make it 3-1.
You know what do I tell? Now there's a penalty after the play, after the goal was scored. A penalty on the. Oh no, maybe it wasn't a penalty. It just looked like one of the Forest Lake players headed to his locker room.
Might have got hurt or something. Yeah, no penalty there.
But you know that there again, we talk about goals being scored off rebounds. Shoot the puck. Your players, you get in there, you get them rebounds. I preach it when I coached. I preach it on the radio. If you don't shoot the puck, you can't score a goal. You get it off the goalie pads. Get them forwards in there. Get them rebounds. Your chances of scoring, you know, it's been proven that 70% of goals are scored off rebounds. And hit the net when you take shots. So many players, you know, you practice. You hit the net all in practice. Hit the net in the games too. So, you know, control your shot, know where they're going.
So scoring that goal for Grand Rapids, as there's another chance there. Wraparound chance out front, scores! That's number 4, Ari Lampa, to make it 4-1.
Yeah, and right there again, that's just good hustle by Grand Rapids. Took the puck from their end, you know, down to the other end, wrap around the net. The puck came out front. You know, I didn't catch it. It was a rebound, but you know what? Somebody shot the puck, and maybe it didn't make the goalie, but Lampa was there to knock it in, make the score 4-1, 24 left in the second period. Grand Rapids off to a good start in this tournament.
So scoring the first goal for Grand Rapids here this second period was number 18, Joey Miskovich. First assist going to number 14, Jeffrey Schaefer. And the second assist going to number 12, Marcus Steele. And now for the second goal for Grand Rapids here in the second period was scored by number 4, Ari Lampa. And the single assist going to number 7, Jamison Duell. That makes it 4-1 in favor of Grand Rapids with 11:37 remaining in period number 2. Now back at neutral. Here comes Grand Rapids. Drive it to the net. Shot right on there by number 6, Seth Carlson. And now we have a stoppage of play.
No, that was a smart play by Seth Carlson. He could have easily just kind of looked for somebody, but he had an open guy. The defender kind of went back towards the player, and he was able to stick with the puck and, you know, get that backhand on. You know, that's another thing I'll talk about many times. These young kids, high school kids, you know, you see pro scoring on that backhand. Learn to use the backhand. Learn how to, you know, make a player think you're going to forehand and use that backhand. It's very key in hockey.
Out front, poke check by the goaltender. Shot there. Can't get it on net. Now Forest Lake picks it up as they drive out with it to center ice. Now in front of the scorer's bench. Now across the ice to the other side. Picked up by Grand Rapids. Now shot down by Forest Lake. No icing there on the play. As Jackson Rabbers picks it up in the Grand Rapids zone, and now we have a stoppage at play.
We're going to be an offside Forest Lake there. Threw the puck back in from beyond the red line. Guy was across the line. Rapids player touched it. That's it.
All right, back in the Grand Rapids zone here. Shot out by the Thunderhawks to center ice. Now picked up by Forest Lake Seedow. Ryder Seedow driving in with it. Centers it out front. Hits a Grand Rapids defenseman. Skates. Goes towards the net. Now Grand Rapids drives out with it. There's a shot in by Marcus Steele. To the backboards. Now in the near corner. Forest Lake is going to pick it up. Here's Peterson. Shoots it up the boards. Now in the far corner. Garski trying to pick it up, but now it goes behind the net. Peterson sends it off the boards. And Reuter can't pick it up in neutral. Now back in the Forest Lake zone, picked up by Peterson now through center ice. Here's Reuter. Reuter driving in, poked towards the net, goes wide. Now up to the point. Here comes Grand Rapids the other way. And now intercepted by Forest Lake. Here's number 0, Levi Higman. Now Garski picks it up. Garski finds Duell on the pass. Duell trying to make a move there. Can't handle the puck. And poked out by Forest Lake to neutral. Now retreated back by Grand Rapids in their own zone. Sent over to Stupar. Stupar now sent up through neutral by Simmons. Now Grand Rapids in their offensive zone. Trying to pull the trigger there was Duell. And he can't pull the trigger. Here's Garski out front trying to center it there. Broken up by the Forest Lake defender. Now back up to the point. Shot in by Simmons. Back up to Simmons. Can't backhand it in. Now it's center ice. Shot in. Blocked away by Salisbury. Alex Salisbury off the boards. Trying to find Lampa there on the pass. Now Garski comes in and picks it up. Garski receives a pass. Trying to drive to the net. Now trying to center it. Sends it up to the point. And Grand Rapids will keep it in as it's Palasek. Now down to the near corner, back behind the net, picked up by Forest Lake. Hagelin sends it out. Now it's going to go through neutral and all the way down for an icing.
No, there's a nice pace to this game. I'd have to say a lot of the Grand Rapids kids, they're play position hockey well. They've been coached quite well. Forest Lake, same thing. I think you got some future players coming up right here. And you know, I watched Garski. Big kid. He overpowers a lot of players. He handles the puck well. He knows where his players are. He's one to be watched in the future here for Grand Rapids.
For sure, Eric. He's going to be a good player once he gets to Bantams in high school. He's going to be a fun player to watch, I think.
Yes, he will.
Here comes Forest Lake the other way. LeBlanc brings it in, down in the corner. Centers it out front, now back behind the net. Heikala sends it up to the point now. Over to Peterson now, number 90. Broken up by Grand Rapids. Now here's Rabbers. Rabbers sends it up to the point. Kept in by Seedow. Down to the backboards. Now Salisbury sends it off the boards. Now Grand Rapids will send it out to neutral. Forest Lake back in their own zone. Sent back to center ice now. Flipped up to the boards by Salisbury. Battle for it by the blue line towards the Grand Rapids zone. Now back in the Thunderhawk zone. Here's Peterson trying to drive to the net. Now it's picked up by Seth Carlson for Grand Rapids. Or rather, that was Hajduk, number 16. Now a shot off the glass. Going to wrap around the boards and go all the way down for an icing with 6:39 remaining in period number 2.
You know, I was looking for a bracket on this thing. There's no bracket on the roster here. And I think that, you know, I'm not sure what. I know there's 2 games this afternoon. One's going on in the East Arena. And then you got two this evening.
Shot there. Pad save by Casey.
Very nice save.
Now back up at the point. It's 4-1 in favor of Grand Rapids with 6:24 remaining in period number 2. Still in the Grand Rapids zone. Now it's going to be shot out by the Thunderhawks through neutral. Trying to find the bracket here on my computer. I found it here now. All right, other games going on here tonight. Woodbury and Roseau at 5:40 p.m. At 5:50, Northern Lakes, St. Louis Park. Then at 7:30, Hibbing and St. Cloud. So you have a nice field of teams here. You know, Hibbing has a very good Peewee A team. You know, St. Louis Park, St. Cloud, Woodbury, those teams are going to be pretty good. I think Roseau, Peewee AA are kind of down for this age level. And either way, though, you have a pretty good field of teams here in this tournament.
You know, St. Louis Park, they've got a really good high school program this year. And I think that Woodbury, you know, they got numbers and that's what's going to help. But here again, we're talking.
Here comes Forest Lake. Shot right on there. And a save by Casey. That was a shot by Ryder.
No, he scored.
He scored.
Right on through.
Thought he saved it, but yeah, that's a goal for Forest Lake by number 4, Ryder Seedow, to make it 4-2 in favor of Grand Rapids.
I think he slipped in just perfectly fine and was able to get the puck through the goalie's pads, I thought Casey thinks he had it, thought he had it, and it happened to just slide through. So Forest Lake narrows the game within 2 now. Here's that 2-goal lead we talk about that's really hard to hang on to.
Shot there by Forest Lake goes wide of the net. We wait for the goal announcement here over the PA system. So yeah, scoring the goal is number 4, Ryder Seedow. And the single assist going to number 63, Connor LeBlanc. Still 4-2 in favor of Grand Rapids.
It is weird to see like a Peewee team got number 81 out there, number 63. Those higher numbers. I know when I played, I don't know about you, Blake, but we were limited for 1 through 20.
Yeah, there's only a couple numbers in between 0 and number 20. You have 0, 4, 6, 10. Then it jumps up to 30. Then you have 44. Yeah, weird numbers for this Forest Lake Peewee AA team. I was just going to talk about, some of these Peewee teams again, as it's covered up by goaltender Earhart. When you talk about these teams like Woodbury and, St. Louis Park, 2 programs that lose a lot of players to other private schools. Woodbury, a lot of those players go to schools such as St. Thomas Academy, and these teams have very good youth programs, but a lot of them just move away. St. Louis Park, like you mentioned, they tidy Dinah for high school. They're getting better. They're keeping more players at the high school level. More players are sticking around, so that's good to see. They share a rink with Benilde St. Margaret's actually at the St. Louis Park Rec Center. So I would assume they lose some players to Benilde, but they have a pretty solid team in a very tough Section 6 AA.
No, you're right. And the one thing is, too, I'll say it 100 times over. It comes down to friendship, teammates, dedication. My top reason right now, top thing I can think about is Jack Peart coming back to Grand Rapids. How much does that mean to him? How much does that mean to the coaches, his teammates, the community, his parents? To come back here and to play his senior year with his team. And granted, Grand Rapids, to me, I might be a Grand Rapids fan, but I'm telling you, I like hockey. And I do believe Grand Rapids is a legitimate contender for Section 7A, AA, and the state as well.
Brought up by Grand Rapids. Seth Carlson brings it in, now intercepted by Forest Lake. Up to Peterson. And Heikla is offside.
One thing about, watching last night, it was a 3-0 lead. Grand Rapids outshot Duluth East, I believe it was 25-7. And, Duluth played some good defense. They blocked some shots. They stopped it. But Grand Rapids, between their defense and the forwards, the block shots not getting into Pelkington, me and my first game to watch them play, that was impressive. In the JV game, watching Blaine Mortensen sacrifice his body. He took 4 shots to the body, 1 in each wrist, 1 in each ankle. To sacrifice your body is some dedication to your team.
So we have 2:08 remaining in period number 2. Grand Rapids with the 4-2 lead over Forest Lake. Back in the Forest Lake zone as it's controlled by the Rangers. Now poked away by Grand Rapids down in the far corner. Trying to get a shot through there. Blocked away by the Forest Lake defender. Now behind the net, out front, trying to put a backhand shot on there was Marcus Thiel. Now Forest Lake flips it out through neutral, and it's going to go all the way down for an icing.
And one thing about Grand Rapids, last night towards the end of the game, their bench got a little thinner, got down there. And I think it started to kind of show a little bit, too, when they got down to them. Duluth East kind of turned the tide towards the end of the game. They started putting a little more pressure on. I believe that there was a lot of, great play and great coaching by Grand Rapids last night, and Mike Randolph. Mike Randolph, one of the best coaches you'll ever see coach the game. And I think that towards the end of the game, Grand Rapids used talent. They used smart hockey and was able to keep Duluth East at bay.
And today we are just doing this game here from the Star of the North Peewee AA tournament. We would stick around to do more games, but it just doesn't work for our schedules. So it's good that we're doing this game, but it would have been fun to see the other teams. Hibbing, I know, has a very good Peewee A team. It would have been fun to see them. And, of course, the other teams playing in this tournament.
Yeah, definitely would have been fun to see. But, like you said, our schedules just ain't working for that today. So, and we wish our counterpart, Randy.
Shot there, scores. Goal. Shot there by Jamison Duell. And Grand Rapids retakes their 3-goal lead to make it 5-2. So scoring the goal there for Grand Rapids, number 7, Jamison Duell, with the single assist going to Nathan Garski. That makes it 5-2 in favor of Grand Rapids with 44 seconds remaining in period number 2. Play in the Grand Rapids zone behind the net. Now along the near half wall, up to Garski. Garski tries finding number 7, Jamison Duell, on the pass. Unable to connect to the pass, and it goes down for an acing. Well, Eric, with 26 seconds remaining in period number 2, Grand Rapids able to get the 3-goal lead back. That's a big one going into the third period.
Sure it is going to be. Forest Lake's got a little mountain to climb here. Grand Rapids playing well. They got some smart hockey players on the team. Like I said, we'll go back to some coaching. We got some great coaches over there. Grand Rapids, they look really solid. And you know what? I don't know about that idea right there, but, Forest Lake, they got some good hockey players too. They're playing great. Just Grand Rapids seems like they're just a step ahead right now.
Yep, penalty coming up on Grand Rapids. That is number 6. Seth Carlson heading to the box. 2-minute minor with 2 seconds remaining in period number 2. Back by Forest Lake. One last shot. Can't get it on net as it deflects off a stick. And that's going to do it for period number 2 from the IRA Civic Center. 5-2 in favor of Grand Rapids over Forest Lake in this Peewee AA matchup. So just recapping the scoring there for the second period. Grand Rapids took a 3-1 lead with a goal from number 18, Joey Miskovich. First assist going to number 14, Jeffrey Schaefer, and the second assist to number 12, Marcus Thiel. Then Grand Rapids took a 4-1 lead with a goal from number 4, Ari Lampa, and the single assist to number 7, Jamison Duell. Forest Lake got within 2 goals to make it 4-2 in the second period of play. That was scored by number 4, Ryder Cito, and the single assist to number 63, Connor LeBlanc. Then Grand Rapids took their 3-goal lead right back with a goal from number 7, Jamison Duell, and the single assist to number 17, Nathan Garski. And that's where we stand after 2 periods of play, 5-2 in favor of Grand Rapids.
By chance, Blake, you got the rundown of who Grand Rapids will play the next couple of games? You seen that on that schedule. Maybe we could kind of give a rundown who plays who in this tournament.
Yeah, I have the schedule right here. So, yeah, I mentioned tonight's games. Saturday, tomorrow, 2 games at 8 a.m. Grand Rapids takes on Woodbury, and Roseau takes on Forest Lake. And then at 9:50, 2 more games, St. Louis Park, St. Cloud, then Hibbing and Northern Lakes. Then a big pause up until 5:10, 2 more games, Grand Rapids, Roseau, then Woodbury, Forest Lake. Then at 7 o'clock, another set of games, St. Cloud, Northern Lakes, and St. Louis Park versus Hibbing. And then tomorrow, or on Sunday, there's going to be 4 games. Pool A and Pool B number 4s will play each other. Pool A number 3s, or Pool A and Pool B number 3s will play each other. Both at 8 a.m., then 9:50 a.m. Pool A number 2 versus Pool B number 2 at 9:50. Then championship game at 11:40 a.m. tomorrow from the IRA Civic, or on Sunday, from the IRA Civic Center.
You know, and you're seeing more and more tournaments going to these Pool A, Pool B games. I remember growing up playing in tournaments. You had 8 teams. You had the winning bracket and the losing bracket. They must be changing over time.
Me personally, I like the pool better. So if you lose your first game in the bracket, you can't win the championship.
No, you cannot. You cannot.
I mean, that's I don't like that format.
And you know what? I guess, Blake, that comes down to that's the way I was raised. You know, that we didn't play pool hockey until I was in high school. We never had a pool A and Bs. I don't think they're around. It was just, you lose your first game, you were done.
Right. Most of my tournaments when I was in youth hockey, it was bracket tournaments. As I got older, there was more pool tournaments, which I like more because if you lose your first game, you should, and then you win the rest of your games, you should still have a chance at the championship game.
Sure. And you know what? I remember Section 7, back in the day, they had a back door. International Falls lost to Grand Rapids in an early playoff game and went on to win the state title.
Yeah.
So I get both sides of it. I'm just, it's not what I was playing back in the day, but I do like it. You're right. I agree.
Well, yeah, for section playoffs, obviously you play single elimination. That's, a good format, obviously. But just for these youth tournaments, pool play is probably the best way to go. Brought up by Forest Lake into the Grand Rapids zone. Period number 3, 40 seconds in. And Forest Lake on a power play for 1:12 still. And it's going to be sent all the way down by Grand Rapids for an icing.
But there's a difference between, nowadays and the old days. I had coaches. I had Ted, back in the day there was Bob DeGraio, Rick Akery. Ted Brill was a coach. These guys, they taught you win these games, you don't take first place. That's the way it was taught back in the day, and those are Grand Rapids icon names right here in Grand Rapids. So, I do agree with you on the pool thing. It opens it up because, you don't want to get kids discouraged. You want to keep them active, keep them encouraged in the game of hockey.
Grand Rapids back in their own zone. And it's kept it at the blue line. Broken stick there, it looks like. Yep, number 88 broke his stick. So here comes Grand Rapids. Shot there. That number 88, Tristan Hagelin, broke his stick. If we have any parents watching, that's $200 coming out of your bank account there. Yeah, those sticks are pretty expensive nowadays, huh?
I had one in my hand last night over at Rain Sports in Hibbing, and $179. I'm thinking I could have bought a dozen of them for that price back in the day.
Right, yeah. If you want to get the top of the line sticks, they're more like $300, $400. You're lucky to find a good stick for that $170. A stick's a stick for the most part.
I used a wooden Sherwood 50-30 back in the day, and to me, that worked for me. I tried some of these lighter sticks. I don't know. It seems like nowadays, if you grow up using lighter stick, you got a faster shot. Evidently, it works for the pros. When you're shooting the puck 116 miles an hour, that's pretty impressive.
Back in the Forest Lake zone, back to Hagman. Grand Rapids back at full strength now, back to 5-on-5 hockey. Brought in by Forest Lake. Can't get a shot on net there. Down to the near corner. Along the half wall. Now there's a shot there. Fires it over the net. That was Ryder Seedow with a shot that hit the backboards and off the glass. Now Forest Lake can't keep it in the zone. Out to center ice. Now brought in by Seedow. But broken up by Schaefer of Grand Rapids. Now here come the Thunderhawks the other way. Miskovich shot hits the backboards. Now back out front. Now up to the point. Here's Colton Stupar to his defensive partner. Can't get a shot through there. Stupar sends it down to the far corner now. Here's Nathan Garski. And that was actually number 12, Marcus Thiel. Here comes Forest Lake the other way now. Can't get a shot through there is Frank Lowe. Now Peterson for Forest Lake out front. Can't find a teammate on the pass there. Peterson now intercepts once again. Now along the near half wall. As Tucker Peterson keeps it in. Out front, centering pass by Nate Peterson. Can't connect on the pass. Now back to center ice. Picked up by Levi Hagman. Hagman skates back with it. Now taken away by Garski. Garski trying to find his teammate Ari Lamp on the pass there. Grand Rapids up to the point now. They control. Shot there. Odd net. Rebound chance. And it's steered aside to the half wall. Now here comes Forest Lake the other way. As we approach the 13-minute mark of this third period. Still 5-2 in favor of Grand Rapids. As the Thunderhawks pick it up. Through center ice is Jamison Duell. Duell driving in. He passed it over to Ari Lampa. Can't pull the trigger there. Now in the far corner. Picked up by Grand Rapids' Nathan Garski. Garski over in the far corner. Sends it over to True that is. And shot out by Forest Lake now. And it's going to go all the way down for an icing.
That was some really good puck movement by Grand Rapids. Moving the puck around. Jamison Dwell, that is smart heads-up play. Him and Garski worked well together. Garski, he threw the puck to Garski. Garski tried to just give him a little saucer pass back. He was intercepted in the icing, but their play is it's really smart. They know where their players are. They know how to use the puck. So this Peewee AA team for Grand Rapids looking pretty good right now.
12:15 remaining in period number 3 as play continues here in the Forest Lake zone. Over to the far corner. And the Rangers come away with it, sent through neutral. Now back in the Grand Rapids zone. Here's Salisbury. Sends it over to his defensive partner, Dolan Verbic. Now here comes Grand Rapids the other way. Shot right on. Didn't get a shot on net there, it didn't look like, but went wide of the net. Here comes Forest Lake the other way. The Grand Rapids zone. Backhanded out by Jackson Rabbers. Now Forest Lake will be offside.
That was good hustle by Grand Rapids. Come down, took a really nice shot. Missed the net, hit the board, circle back around. Forest Lake was able to come down, put a little pressure on, and, it's been back and forth hockey for the most part. Grand Rapids happens to have the 5-2 lead. Playing really good hockey, though. And
the shots on goal are on the board now, 21-15 in favor of Grand Rapids. So shots on goal very close.
Very close. They haven't been keeping tabs. I've not been watching. So they could have been, close at one time, just kind of spread apart now. But regardless, I think we got a good hockey game, even though the score doesn't, show the best.
Now we're going to have a penalty coming up on Forest Lake. Now some extra shoves going on here. It's going to be coincidentals now. Wasn't a good penalty taken by both teams, especially Grand Rapids when they were going on the power play. 2 players heading to the box for Forest Lake.
I thought they called the penalty because Grand Rapids touched the puck and the whistle blew.
So initially, Forest Lake delayed penalty. Then one of the Grand Rapids players shoved one of the Rangers players. Then it was coincidentals by that point. So 2 penalties on Forest Lake and 1 on Grand Rapids. Looks like they're all going to be roughing penalties.
Well, you know, last night in the JV game, we watched a punch be thrown, and it was a 5-minute penalty. Now they've taken the 2-minute off for Grand Rapids. Must be the coincidentals after the whistle. See, that's what I thought. Forest Lake was going to get the first penalty, which was – because that's what it looks like. Forest Lake had the original penalty.
They were going to get the first penalty. That Grand Rapids retaliated.
Yep.
Then they blew the whistle right away. So a power play here for Grand Rapids with 10:55 remaining in period number 3. They have the 5-2 lead over Forest Lake. Battle it behind the Rangers' net. Still battling for it. And Grand Rapids comes away with it, sent up to the point. And it will be kept in by Owen Simmons. Now over to the other side, shot in down to the near corner. Along the half wall. Back down to that corner now. Here's Grand Rapids out front, trying to center it there. And taken away by Forest Lakes. Kellen Spoors. And it will leave the zone. And it's going to be brought right back in by Grand Rapids' Joey Miskovich. Forest Lake. Backhanded off the glass along the half wall. Now it will be blocked. Leaves the zone by Peterson. Here comes Peterson the other way, number 90 for Forest Lake. Trying to make a move, hits the skate of the Grand Rapids defenseman, number 10, Owen Simmons. Now back along the backboard, skating up with it are the Thunderhawks. It's number 3, Jackson Rabbers. Rabbers drops it back to Marcus Steele. Shot there, now flipped out by Forest Lake. No icing there on the play as it goes all the way back into the Grand Rapids zone. Here's Ari Lampa. Lampa finds Verbeek. Now over to Garski, and Duell's offside.
You know, I want to take this moment to talk about Blake, talking about the Junior Gold program. They have a home game next Tuesday night. We're not sure what rink it's going to be on yet, but is planned right now. We are planning on streaming that Junior Gold game next Tuesday night here at the Grand Rapids IRA Civic Center Arena. So stay tuned, figure out what rink we're going to be on, and we're going to put it on for you folks.
Shot there by Garski. Another chance there as it came off the backboards into the goalie. Yeah, I just want to talk about that game, though. It's going to work out perfect. We do not have a high school game scheduled next Tuesday, so hopefully the Junior Gold team is in the main Kelpie West rink here at the IRA Civic Center. If it is in the East McDonald rink, we could still maybe figure something out, but either way, we will be here back at the IRA Civic Center next Tuesday night.
Yep, I think that'd be good, but let people watch Grand Rapids Junior Gold play hockey.
Grand Rapids back in their own zone. Forest Lake back at full strength. So coincidental minor penalties. They're still in the box. Shot there, goal! Nathan Garski from number 7, Jamison Duell, and that makes it 6-2 in favor of Grand Rapids.
You know, that was Jamison Duell's. That was his play all the way. He took the puck from his own zone, skated it out, went around the Forest Lake defender at the blue line, and was able to get it down in. I think the goalie thought he was going to take the shot, and he was able to get it over to Garski. Garski put it in the net. Great play for Grand Rapids, working together. I said it earlier, those two guys play great together.
Yeah, Duell and Garski having a phenomenal game for Grand Rapids.
I guess Lampa's going to get an assist on that one too.
I don't think he didn't get the first assist though.
No, he might. He's the one that probably threw it from behind a net, I would believe.
Yep. So yeah, because Duell did pass it to Garski.
Yes.
So yeah, recapping that scoring once again for the Grand Rapids, 6th goal of the game. Scoring the goal was Nathan Garski. First assist to number 7, Jamison Duell, and the second assist to number 4, Ari Lampa. That makes it 6-2 in favor of Grand Rapids, and we have 7:50 remaining in period number 3. Driven in by the Thunderhawks, now picked up by the Rangers. Held in at the point by the Thunderhawks. Stupar, now it will leave the zone. Now here comes Forest Lake the other way. Down in the far corner now, here's Peterson, number 90, out front. Shot, pad save by Carter Casey. Peterson up at the point now. Now intercepted by Grand Rapids. Here's Thiel. Thiel drives in, down at the backboards now, over to the far corner. A battle for it. Trying to send it out front there, cleared away by number 46, Tucker Peterson. Now back behind the net, out front. Shot, pad save, another rebound chance. Now it's backhanded in by number 18. On the third shot there, Joey Miskovich makes it 7-2 in favor of Grand Rapids.
That will be his second goal of the game, too. We got a couple of 2-goal scorers in this game. Nathan Garsky and Joey Miskovich has got a couple goals apiece. This Grand Rapids team playing a really good hockey, not giving up. There again, Blake, how'd that goal get scored? Off a rebound.
Yep, there was, the initial shot, then a rebound, then another rebound, and then Miskovich was finally able to backhand it in. So once again, score of the goal was number 18, Joey Miskovich. First assist going to number 12, Marcus Thiel, and second assist to number 4, Ari Lampa. That's Lampa's fourth point of the game. He has 3 assists and 1 goal for Grand Rapids. He's having himself a good afternoon. You have a couple other players, Nathan Garsky, Jamison Duell, Miskovich, lots of players contributing for Grand Rapids here this afternoon. Here comes Forest Lake the other way. Can't get a shot off there was Seedow. But yeah, it's been a team effort here this afternoon for Grand Rapids, Eric.
Yes, it has. And you know what? That right there again, that right there, the defensive play by Jason Rabbers, that was excellent. And, he was able to keep back. The Forest Lake guy wasn't even able to get a shot off, but for Rabbers to keep the pressure on, that's good defense.
So with 5:15 remaining in period number 3, it is 7-2 in favor of Grand Rapids. Here come the Thunderhawks. Shot there, and a pad save by Earhart.
I think they kind of quit keeping the shots because I think the shots have changed since they both put them up there. But Grand Rapids is they're getting shots. Any opportunity they get, they're taking that shot and looking for them rebounds.
One back by Forest Lake in their own zone, sent up the boards by Tucker Peterson. Now shot on net there by number 15, Dolan Verbeek, and a glove save by Earhart.
No, it's been a good hockey game to do. I'm glad we did it. I hope the fans out there, the relatives of both these teams are enjoying, the ones that can't be here in the arena, enjoying what we do, letting them at least stream it. We're not professionals by any means, but we try to be. I know Blake's play-by-play is a lot better than my camera work.
And we are going to start getting camera operators during our high school games. It's not a big deal doing it during youth games, but for high school games, we are going to, we have some people that we can reach out to run the camera for our big varsity games like last night.
It's tough.
Yes, it's very tough.
I'm not making excuses for myself, but you as a color guy, you get lost in doing both, and it makes it tough.
But one thing, it's really nice not having audio issues here today and last night.
2 nights in a row.
No,
I think we're figuring it out.
That's one monkey off her back.
Now we can get my camera to work. I may be able to do some of this stuff when you're not available. So, that's our next step.
Here's Grand Rapids. Another shot there. Looks like there's a save by Earhart.
That was another nice play by Grand Rapids, getting it to that open man. Again,
another pass. Scores!
Peewee, and stayed on the play, on the puck, was able to get the puck, get it back out to his defender, and the defender put it right in the 5-hole, right between the goalie's legs. Good play by Grand Rapids to make the score 8-2. 3:52 left in the game.
I believe that was number 3, Jackson Rabbers, with the goal. We'll have to wait and see what the official announcement is. And I apologize for saying that last name wrong. It's Jackson Rabers. He did score the goal to make it 8-2 in favor of Grand Rapids. First assist going to number 7, Jamison Duell. Another point for Duell here this afternoon. And then the second assist to number 17, Nathan Garski. So we are going to do a player of the game here for this game. It's going to be tough to choose a player for player of the game. It's been a team effort. Here's the deal with our player.
You put that on yourself.
But here's the deal with our players of the game. It's some games you have players that make a huge impact, but hockey's a team game. It's good to do the hat thing, give players the hat, and do the interview and stuff, and just hear from the players. So I don't know if we're gonna do an interview for this. We'll give someone a hat and take a picture and promote our great sponsor, Iron Range Apparel. They provide the hats for us, so we'll make sure to do that after this game. And we have 2:27 remaining in period number 3. It's 8-2 in favor of Grand Rapids. And for that player of the game, we're going to have to hustle up pretty quick, get the broadcast ended, and because these youth players only have 10 minutes to get out of here, so... But yeah, make sure to watch out for that. 3 social media platforms: Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
No, we'll get her done. We'll get out there. I got a good idea who I think I've seen play the best game today. And like we talked about, it's not the guy who maybe scores the goals. Maybe it's the guy who's in the play that influenced everything. The hardest hustling guy. That's what we're going to pick. We're going to pick the player of the game as not the guy who made something up. The score is 8-2. How about the guy who just made things happen, was in the play, doing what he can? He got maybe 2 goals, a goal, 5 assists. It don't matter to us. We're going to pick the guy that we think just influenced the game the most. And that's what's going to happen. So I'm kind of excited. I got my ideas who I think should earn this thing because of the way they played the game. So me and Blake will discuss that after the game, and we'll get down and we'll get an interview for you.
So the time is running here with just about 1 minute remaining in period number 3. Now there is 1 minute remaining in the final period of play. 8-2 in favor of Grand Rapids. And, you look at the scoreboard through 2 periods of play, it wasn't very a lopsided game, It was, it was
really even.
It was 5-2 Grand Rapids, but it didn't feel that lopsided. But the floodgates really opened up here in this third period for the Thunderhawks.
And I don't know if it's because the benches are that much shorter. It's a whole line shorter. And I don't know if it's that or, Grand Rapids started just to play better hockey as the game went on. Smart, knew where their players were. Just those kind of small little things kind of contributed to this whole thing. 15 seconds left in the game right now.
Time's going to wind down here. 10 seconds remaining. Grand Rapids driving in. They put a shot on net. He'll cover it up. And that's
probably going to do the game right there for us, Blake.
Yep, the time's going to run out. Grand Rapids off to a good start in the Star of the North Peewee AA tournament. They get an 8-2 victory over Forest Lake in game number 1 of the tournament.
Great game. Grand Rapids played well. Forest Lake played well. I think Grand Rapids just had, They had better opportunities. The smart passing. They had one or two players that really stood up to the situation. Forest Lake had some good players. Forest Lake was a big team. I guarantee you right now, Blake, we are going to hear some of these names 4 years from now. These Forest Lake Rangers are going to be back in this arena playing for their high school team against Grand Rapids in a 7AA matchups. I put money on it. Great coaching by both teams. I'll let Blake take over here. Blake, it was fun. I had a blast. And until next time.
And next time will be next Tuesday night.
Tuesday night.
We are off for the weekend. It's actually my birthday tomorrow. So I'll be taking a couple days off. But, we're taking the weekend off. We'll be back Tuesday night, probably for sure junior gold here at Grand Rapids, whoever they play.
Yeah, and we'll get some information. We'll get it posted on all of our links. And be sure to follow us, folks. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. We had 66 people I see come in, so thank you very much. And like I said, Blake, I'll turn it over to you, and we'll go from there. We'll get these kids right away.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Final score 8-2 in favor of Grand Rapids in this Peewee AA matchup. Good afternoon, everyone. Have a good day.